What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to another rebuild on the channel as part of the 12 rebuilds of Christmas. This one here, brand new type. I just wanted to throw something different in the mix. I have no idea if this is going to return or if it's something you guys wanted to like or whatever. And it sounded really good when I was like kind of brainstorming about what different type of rebuilds I could try to do. Now that I'm actually here, I have no idea how well this is going to turn out. We're going to wait and see. This is a trial run. But essentially, it is the Legend rebuild, and we're using the Raiders. Plenty of Legends for us to choose from. The premise of the rebuild is this. So, we're heavily focusing on the first 3 years. The first 3 years of this, so season 1, 2, and 3, we're just going to be, we'll be keeping an eye and seeing what our stats are. But more so, it's just getting to the draft and getting our Legends. Every first round pick, based off of the position, will be turned into a Legend. And the Legend will be based off of, in terms of overall, the studs you can find in the draft. So anywhere between an 81 and an 85 with Superstar Dev trait will be our first round Legend as we see fit. Could be Bo Jackson, could be, Jack Tatum, Ted Hendricks, anyone like that. Those are our first round picks. And every pick that we have after the first round that's an 80 or above will also get turned into a Legend. Those aren't super common, but there's a chance we might have a 2 Legend draft, a 2 pool of Legends. I don't know how well that's going to work, but essentially we're just going to be trying to stockpile Legends for the first 3 years. And then the last 3 years of the rebuild, so years 4, 5, and 6, that is where we're going to be focusing in on trying to really win. Now these Legends hopefully are developing into the low 90s and stuff like that. We'll have Derek Carr looking at this roster going into his prime. Same with Amari Cooper. Some of these guys in the offensive line are going to be looking pretty old, so there is some strategy that is going to go into it. But, it is just something I want to play with the Legends, and I don't feel like playing Madden Ultimate Team and dropping $900 to get a wide receiver Deion Sanders. So I figure this is the next best way that I could get involved with Legends. And, yeah, I don't think it's too confusing. It'll probably make a lot more sense once we get to the draft. But as always, guys, anytime we do a brand new series like this, kind of a spur-of-the-moment series, I'm looking for as much feedback as I can get. Very similar to when we did the Rebuild Roulette. Every single video, there's a good comment in the comment section about maybe a suggestion for a different wedge and stuff like that. Continually growing this series, and that is potentially what we have here. But I won't be sad if you guys say, nah, I'm not really feeling this one, C4. It was interesting for one video, but how about no more Legend rebuilds? Either way, we're going to roll with it today. Let's get into the draft and see what Legend are we going to pick. Maybe 2 Legends, maybe 3. Is there a way I could get 380s? Probably not, but we'll see what happens. So this happened in Season 1. The 10-6 Raiders are now in the Super Bowl. Sure, okay, it's pretty highly unexpected. I mean, the Raiders aren't a bad team, but coming 3rd in the AFC West, did not quite think we would make it this far. Looking at the stats here real quick, Carr had a solid season, 22 touchdowns, 10 picks. Beast Mode had a hell of a year, 1,400 yards, 11 TDs. We had 73 catches for 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns for Michael Crabtree. On defense, Bowman had 140 tackles. We got 14 sacks for Mario Edwards. Oh my gosh, Khalil Mack, only 2.5 sacks. That is absolutely absurd. 3 picks here for Carl Joseph. Yeah, as I said, we're just simulating these seasons here to try and get, to the draft. But, why not? Why not see if we can win the Super Bowl in year 1? It's the beginning of a dynasty. Why not start off by winning the Super Bowl and then getting a legendary player? So, the Raiders, we won the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl. How hard has it been when I build teams with 90s that we can't win the Super Bowl? This team here, look at this. With this bunch of B's and C's and stuff like that, we still win this. I don't know, man. This is absolutely insane that we're able to do this. So, yeah, we're gonna go right until the right until the draft. Can we go to the draft? Gotta get to next week here. We won the Super Bowl. What? Okay. Okay. Let's draft a Legend. Huh? Let's draft a Legend. All right, we're gonna switch it up here just a little bit. So we have a running back. I'm not gonna say who it's gonna be yet. There's a couple good running backs in the history of the Raiders, but it is gonna be incredibly difficult to hit on 80s. Like I said, I might if we do the 6 years, I might have 1 draft of those 6 years. I get 2 80s. So we're gonna put a little bit of Draft Wars. Shout out to Perham Crow and Dustin for the Draft Wars spin on things, because not only do they value high picks, they value the dev trait. So if we get any player that's above an 80 outside of our first rounder, plus anyone with a superstar dev trait, they will get turned into a legend. And the reason why I say this is we got this 74 overall right guard with a superstar dev trait out of Villanova. Great school. Shout out to Brian Westbrook. So there we go. We have a running back and a right guard that we both have the opportunity to make into a Raider legend to try to repeat and become back-to-back Super Bowl champions. So here we go. First draft. In the first round, we got Bo Jackson. Push stacks like Bo Jax. Bo knows. All the monikers. It actually was a 79 superstar running back. So it wasn't that drastic of a change. But look, we made him the unbelievable athlete he is. Debatably the greatest athlete in American sports history. 83. We only went 83. We had the option to go all the way up to 85. But I figured when we got this guard, it was only going to be one guy. It was always going to be Gene Upshaw, regarded as maybe the best offensive lineman in football history. He's an 86, but, you know, the little loophole is that he, for some reason, low confidence makes him an 85. Superstar dev trait guard. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's undersized. I mean, back in the day, football players were generally smaller, but 6'5", 255 pounds is what he weighed. I think we might move him to left guard and put Kalisio Assembly to one of the tackle spots, as we do really badly need a tackle. And, but I mean, Upshaw is going to be an absolute stud as we look to get into year 2 and repeat as Super Bowl champs without even lifting a finger, really. So as is the nature of Madden, we did not make it back to the Super Bowl. Oh, we did not. 7-9. I'm lucky I didn't show you guys at the mid-season point. We were 1-7 on the season. As I said, it's bad. I guess, you know, it's a every year league. Any given Sunday, any team can win, I suppose. Look at the stats. Car here, 40-20 yards, 29 TDs. Interceptions are up. Running the ball, Bo Jackson, only 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. The touchdowns are nice, but the 5 fumbles, not a hot year from our superstar running back. Receiving, Seth Roberts almost broke 1,000 yards and 10 TDs. Who would thought? How'd our boy Gene Upshaw do? Gene Upshaw only gave up 2 sacks on the season. Not too shabby. And on defense, we got 145 tackles here from Alden Smith. We got 8 sacks from Edwards, 8 from Kerry Hyder Jr. What is Khalil Mack doing? I'm going to move Khalil Mack back to defensive end. I don't like him at outside linebacker. Something about the sim is not letting him be good at outside linebacker, so I'm just going to straight up put him at one of the defensive end spots. And we'll have to make do with hopefully landing a superstar linebacker or something of the like. Let's jump into the draft. So here we are coming out of the draft. Oh, baby. 280s, baby. Got an 81 overall corner here. Quick dev. We got an 80 overall wide receiver. Normal dev. Plethora of options. I mean, I'm not so sure about the corner spot at the top of my head. But wide receiver, we can go Fred Blitnikoff. Willie Brown. Randy Moss had time. He's not really a legend with the Raiders, but he's a legendary Raider if we really want to get into the thin and gritty there. But let's modify these guys up and get 2 more legends onto the team. So for our 2 legends in the first round, we made it Willie Brown from Grambling State, one of the greatest corners in the history of the Oakland Raiders. It really came down to between him and Lester Hayes, and it seems like more people than not kind of consider Willie Brown the better of the 2. Both these guys, tremendous talent. So Willie Brown is going to step in immediately and start with Garyon Conley back there in the secondary. And then the second round, wide receiver, we had a bunch of options. We had Tim Brown. We could have went Fred Blitnikoff. You could have went with, oh, I can't remember his name. There's another guy, a burner that they had way back in the day. Lester Hayes, maybe? Is that what I just talked about, the corner? But there was plenty of options at the wide receiver spot. But Timmy Brown, one of the most consistent wide receivers in NFL history, finally got his just deserves and got into the Hall of Fame only a couple years ago. But he was an all-purpose yards machine. He was pretty much dominant coming out of Notre Dame. So I have no problem at all putting Tim Brown in the wide receiver core with Amari Cooper and an aging Michael Crabtree to help out and give more weapons to Derek Carr. Year 3, let's go. So as we enter our 3rd year, which is really the final year in terms of really growing and getting our legends, here's our team. Carr is 88. We got Bo Jackson in 89. Tim Brown will start inside the slot as an 85. We got a free agent here in Martavis Bryant. Jesse James also came along. Offensive line is looking solid. Kalisio Assembly's actually 87 overall left tackle. So we actually had a higher overall at left tackle. He did left guard. Gene Upshaw's up to a 90 right now. We had Khalil Mack now moved to defensive end. Willie Brown is our starting corner. Instead of linebacker, obviously you got to talk about Ryan Shazier, who we brought in, was our big money free agent with the money that we saved from cutting Bruce Irvin. We also got Bernard McKinney coming over from the Houston Texans, starting an outside linebacker. So this is a pretty much stacked team. When you look at where we really want to like burn our final legend pick on, you probably might want to say D tackle, get an upgrade here over Bo Allen. Maybe a second inside linebacker. You couldn't go wrong with a safety. I mean, you know, I don't really want to burn a pick on safety. We have Carl Joseph and Obi Melifonwu there, but oh my God, I want Jack Tatum. A tackle would never be bad. I don't know, but this is still a really dominant team. We might be able to get ourselves a Super Bowl here. So let's go all the way to the end of the season and see where we're at. So we're at season's end, and we did crack the playoffs, but that was as far as we went. We were one and done, 10-6. We lost in the wild card round to the Baltimore Ravens, 34-10. But this is going to be the last season that the sim really has an influence on the playoffs, as it's our final year of drafting a legend. And then we have really 3 more seasons to try to win a Super Bowl from that point. Look at Derek Carr, 3,700 yards, 29 TDs, 17 interceptions, which is pretty decent for him. Bo Jackson starting to put up some decent numbers, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns receiving. Martavis Bryant led the team. We got 1,000 yards for Amari Cooper, 800, almost 900 yards, and 8 TDs for our rookie legend, Tim Brown. On the defensive side of things, we got 106 tackles for Alden Smith, 106 from Ryan Shazier. Look at that. Moving Khalil Mack to defensive end from outside linebacker, 22.5 sacks. We got 13 from Mary Edwards, 7 from Alden Smith, 7 from Bo Allen. We got 7 interceptions from Ryan Shazier, big free agency signing. 3 from Emerson, 3 from Kerryon Conley, 2 from Carl Joseph, and 1 from Willie Brown. So we got 1 more year of trying to land ourselves a stud at the legendary position. Can we do it? Can we do it? Well, obviously we know we can. It's a first round pick, but who's it gonna be? All right, so as we get out of this little draft class here, we got 2 nice players. We got 2 beautiful young players that we're going to be able to bring into the team. In the first round, we just went with the positioned. There's no way I'm not getting Jack Tatum, so we just got a 72 overall safety. And then like this in the second round, Rashad Gray, superstar corner that we could pair back there with Willard Brown. So we could either go out, get our Lester Hayes. We could get our... what's his name? Mike Haynes. If we really wanted to, we could get others. We could get Namdi Asamoah. We're not going down that way. But we got 2 players right here that we got. We also got 75 tight ends, 75 corner again. Like a really good draft class all in all. We're going to modify these 2 guys up and make a big push in year number 4. So we are our legends. We got Jack Tatum. Because he wasn't really that great of a player to start with, I figure we go with the minimum of an 80. But look at that. 99 hit power. The most feared hitter in NFL history. And then the second round, to pair with our other legend corner, we went Lester Hayes, superstar from Texas A&M. A little bit more athletic. Or Willie Brown. I mean, both these guys were just incredible. But you know, Lester Hayes, way back in the day, I think it was 1980. 13 interceptions in a season. That is absolutely ridiculous. So hopefully he can replicate that for him. Sadly, you know, Mr. Kerryon Conley wasn't developing at quite the level I wanted him to. So these guys here really do complete this all-star secondary. Now it's time to go win a second Super Bowl within this legendary Raiders rebuild. So here's a very quick look at our team. Nothing really has changed. Tim Brown's up to an 86. We got Gene Upshaw up to a 96, as well as the rest of the offensive line, whose aging is starting to decline, which really makes me think we have like 1 or 2 years to win the Super Bowl. On the defense, Willie Brown, there you go. Willie Brown and Lester Hayes, 85 and 83 respectively. Jack Tatum will be starting at free safety. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Still a really good team. Better than the team that won the Super Bowl. So let's see what we can do. So we didn't make the playoffs. At the midseason point, we were 8-1, and we finished 10-6 on the season. Looking at our stats, Carr, 30 TDs, 14 picks. Bo Jackson, 1,300 yards, 11 TDs. Tim Brown led the team, 86 catches, almost 850 and 9. On the defensive side of things, 123 tackles from Shazier, 6 interceptions, 7 last year, so he's a monster. Khalil Mack broke the sack record with 27.5. And we still didn't make the playoffs. So, well, we got 2 more years. We said the first 3 years are where we get our legends. The last 3 years is where hopefully these guys hit their stride and we can do some damage. So, yep, let's just, you know, there's no draft, no sense of really showing the draft and stuff like that. So let's go into year number 5. All right, so for year 5, again, you know, a couple players that developed. Jackson's a 92. Nutshot's up to a 98. The only big fish we were able to land free agent, we got a new right tackle here in Taylor Moton, the former Carolina Panther, I believe. Willie Brown's 87. Hayes is an 86. Tatum's only up to an 83. You know, you definitely, you know, haven't been able to land that deep tackle or middle linebacker in free agency yet. But after an 8-1 start last year and failing to make the playoffs, I would like to see a little bit of a rebound here from this Raiders team and at least make the playoffs here in year 5. There we go, the kind of season I wanted. How fitting that our first matchup's against the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best rivalries of old school, especially when you're talking about legends. Looking at how we finished on the year AFC West champions with 11-4-1 records to the 1 tie. Actually helped us out here in getting the division. Passes the ball, I mean, that's not anything fancy from Derek Carr. 4,300 yards, 24 TDs, but I'll take it. Bo Jackson had 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. Keenan Henry from Montana with 19 TDs, just vulturing in there. Tim Brown led the team, 89 catches, 887 and 3, 1,000 yards and 6 TDs for a Murray Cooper. On the defensive end, we got 122 tackles from Shazier, 114 from Aldon Smith, and a whole bunch of pressures. 20 sacks from Mary Edwards, 16 from Khalil Mack. We got 3 picks, Willie Brown, 2 for Lester Hayes, and a couple ones there as well. So now it's time for our playoff push. We are going to play the moments all the way up until the Super Bowl. I think we're a good enough team to win the 2nd Super Bowl and finish this series outright. Here we go in the red zone, trying to tie this ball game up at 7. You'd figure Bo Jackson could execute the C4 special like no other, and except he gets only 1 yard. Okay, well, you know, let's hit him with a slant. Some cheesy slants. You know, let's play like the New York Giants do in real life. They just run slants the whole time. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, he drops it. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Amari Cooper has literally Nelson Aguilar hands in real life and in this game. Is there another, like, prolific wide receiver that drops as many balls as Amari Cooper? Wide open tight end, thank God. Equalizer Raiders 7-7 ball game. All right, so the play of the moment sim is pretty rough. I forget, you know, we're going up against the Steelers, so Le'Veon Bell's going to finish with 900 friggin' rushing yards and 6 TDs. But that's looking like what Jesse James is going to do once he pull this game back within 7, 21-14. But I'm not seeing this prolific defense play right now. Tell you that right now. They're not showing up. All right, here we go. First and goal at the end of the first half to tie it up at 21. A high-scoring matchup. Pretty much nothing like the old-school Steeler-Raider matchups. Right there. And Cooper holds on to it. It's insane as Amari Cooper gets the equalizer to tie this one up at 21. We got a 3rd and goal here. I'm just realizing all the ties. Jesse James, Martavis Bryant. We got Ryan Shazier. This is a revenge game. So trying to equalize it here. Fit that in. Oh, and he catches it. Martavis ties it up at 28 in this high-scoring ball game, even though the Raiders have 4 turnovers to the Steelers 0. It's tied. That's all that matters. Oh, Martavis is gone. There you go. This game makes no sense, but 35-35. 41 yards. Martavis Bryant is showing out right now. Can our defense get a stop? Can we see if we get a stop here from our defense? And we do! Incredible! Oh, let's go. Timmy Brown. Take that one to the house. 6 touchdowns for... I think it's 6 TDs and 3 picks right now. Playing like he still had Fresno State. 42-35 for the Raiders. Del Rio can't believe it. And they kick a field goal to win it. They kick a field goal to win it. Six touchdowns each way. I think we're going to end it here. Very much like the Calvin Johnson rebuild, man. There's only so much Madden annoyingness you can do. You know. This is the simulation style stats we get with all the I mean, we're playing with legends, so you kind of throw it into, all right, we're not trying to be super realistic, but then this is still the gameplay you get. Yeah, that's yeah, we're gonna end this one here. Like I said, I'm playing a lot of Madden to get all these rebuilds out. I'm definitely not doing this again next year unless the game's really better, because you just, when you play this game this much, you find all the what makes it truly a horrible Madden. But that being said, the idea, getting to play with some of these legends on the Raiders team definitely was very fun. Flashbacks for some players, more so a lot of these older dudes. You know, just I don't get to play with them much, so it's a different experience to see them in here. Let me know what you guys think about this series. Any suggestions, comments, questions, anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, it's C4 saying, I hate Madden, and peace out. I hate Madden 18. Peace out. Oh, this game sucks.